Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of my Morytania only Ironman series. In this episode I finally managed to get the ball rolling and start actually making progress on this account. So let's get right to it. I started out getting a Slayer task from Mastna, or how you pronounce his name, and I managed to get Ghosts, which is amazing because that's actually a task I can do. So I looked it over, and if I kill Tortured Souls, I am able to get right up to level 17, which will allow me to kill Banshees right from the start. However, I probably won't kill Banshees to begin with, since I can kill Ghasts instead, which have pretty much the same drops but also gives you prayer experience. I've more or less just been killing cows for a while, leveling up my melee stats and gathering cow hides and beef, and also burying the bones from them to further my prayer level. There we go, I have 17 prayer from just burying bones from level 15. After that I managed to kill some snails so that I can actually get some money, which I can use for food or crafting. And here is my first cooking highlight. 12 cooking, which allows me to cook thin snails, which will be my best in slot, although, as you'll see, it's not my best food. It's not my best food, as I have decided to become an alcoholic, as you see here. No, in all seriousness though, this mead, if you can call it that, actually heals 4 hit points each and costs only 5 GP. The most important thing, however, is that it does not get decayed by ghasts, which is very important when I am to train agility. I will now show you the route I take when I'm training agility. I'm walking all the way through Mortmire to the bridge to the Nature Spirit Grotto. This is the only way I can train agility from level 1, and it is terrible. A success gives you 15 experience and a failure gives you 2, so luckily I do get progression, no matter if I succeed or fail. However, it is a really low chance of success, so most of the time I'm just getting 2 experience per try, and I take between 1 and 7 damage each time I fail. Using this method, I will need to get 15 agility first so that I can enter the abandoned mine, which I more or less need to enter in order to progress from here. I decided to train up my crafting because I needed level 15 in order to be able to create snelms, but I managed to get a bit higher than that. As you see here, I managed to get level 18. Now, making snelms is actually really important because it is my best moneymaker at this moment. It gives me 120 GP per snelm instead of the 60 I get by selling the shells uncrafted. So, after drinking a whole lot of Moonlight Mead, I have decided that Mortmire isn't actually that bad. Just look at it, it's beautiful, it's lush and green, there's snails that spit acid on you. It couldn't have been better, actually. Are you all ready? I have gotten my first gear upgrade for this account, except for the boots and gloves I made. Look at that. And look at that fashionscape. It even clips through the hair. It's actually better when it comes to stats though. So I am going to ditch my hardcore Ironman helm and use this amazing piece of fashion for now. I have come to Port Phasmatis again to sell all the stuff I've gotten lately. And now I just need to enter to the general store and... oh. Forgot my ghost speak. Okay, take 2. This is totally not the 4th time I have forgotten my Ghost Speak amulet, by the way. I'm just going to go sell all of this stuff now. And look at that amazing cash stack. 2,000 gold pieces. This is the first time I've actually broken 1,000 gold pieces on this account. So, I have you know I'm pretty rich. Are you ready? Here it is. 30 attack. Yes! That will go nice with the 30 strength I already had. I've been killing a bunch of these guys right now, and they drop a lot of useful things actually. Everything from coal to steel bars to steel arrows, and they even drop some Eyes of Newt, which is going to be really useful later on when I need to train my herblore. These guys do not have an official drop table on the wiki, by the way, so they do not have the same drop table as the werewolves, and they seem to drop none of the armor and weapons, which I was hoping to get from them, so it seems like I will have to go to the abandoned mine for any sort of upgrade. Sometime later, and look at this, a steel axe dropped from one of them. That's actually great, or it would be great if I actually had a bronze or iron axe, because I can't use this yet, except for fashion, I guess. A whole bunch of kills later and no upgrades, I decided to really get my ass in gear and get that agility done so that I could enter the abandoned mine. The grind itself wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. It took me something like 10 trips or so in order to be able to do this, and well, it was just drinking a whole bunch and a whole bunch of almost drowning in swamp water, so I guess I'm feeling pretty disgusting right now. But at least I finally got 15 agility, which means I can enter the abandoned mine. Unlocking the abandoned mine is really important because it grants me access to a lot of things. There are a couple of steel weapon spawns in here, there is a bronze pickaxe and a steel pickaxe, which means both mining and smithing is unlocked from here on. And it also has a bunch of ores, of course, so that I can actually mine it. Using the ores found in the abandoned mine, I will actually have to train my smithing up to level 34, so that I will be able to complete the In Search of the Myrkyu quest. I don't need to train my smithing any higher, because there is a steel longsword spawn in the abandoned mine itself, so that I don't need to smith that one. Although the smithing grind is going to have to wait for a bit later, I decided to do a couple of more runs of mining so that I could level up a bit, and from a random event on the way down I got my first clue scroll. Unfortunately, this one was not completable within Morytania, so this is the first one of very many I am going to have to drop. And here we go, I got 50 in mining, which allows me to mine iron ore. Smithing iron is going to be my best training method up to level 34, although smelting iron is going to be pretty terrible to watch. Since I am terrible at focusing on just one thing at a time, I decided to start leveling my farming as well, since that takes a lot of time. Luckily for me, the charter cruise on the Port Phasmatis docks actually sells pineapples, which I can use to make super compost, which is a lot better than raking, but of course I will be doing raking as well, because raking is the best content there is in the entirety of RuneScape. I also decided to smelt a few bronze bars and smith them so that I could get a bronze axe, so I could finally start training woodcutting. Although it's not useful for me right now, it will be useful later, so I just got like 5 levels of it and then I let that lie for now. Then I decided to train up my cooking so that I reached level 30 cooking. This doesn't really unlock anything for me right now, but it allows me to burn less food, which is nice when I will try to cook more snails later. Finally, I also leveled my crafting to level 20, which is past the requirement of level 18, which is required for the Nature Spirit quest. Now, the only thing I need to complete the Nature Spirit quest is a silver bar, and to get that I will need to go back to the abandoned mine and kill this little boy right here, Mr. Skeletal, or as I like to call him, the Loot Skeleton. The Loot Skeleton has some pretty amazing drops, but most importantly for me is that it drops a lot of gear upgrades, and it also drops the silver bar I need to make the silver sickle. Its drops are actually so weird that I had to update the drop table myself when I started farming this guy. But you will have to wait and see until the next episode to see what I get from repeatedly smashing the Loot Skeleton. So once again, thank you so much for watching this episode of Morytania Ironman. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I hope to see you again soon with my next update.